friends. This might be the most exciting episode yet. I mean it when I say it. I say what I mean. It is. You asked for it, and we delivered. It's with the one and only Jack Ferry. Oh, you're also listening to Not Too Deep with me, Grace Helbig. I hope that was clear. Hopefully you clicked on the right thing and this wasn't an accident, and now you wouldn't even be listening. You'd be gone by now. You'd be on to Pornhub or wherever you meant to click on before this. So hopefully this is a great episode that you guys will enjoy. I mean, I know it's a great episode. I was there for it. Well, jury's out on whether I was actually there for it. Physically, I was. Jack got a chance to sit in the hot seat, the guest seat on Not Too Deep, and tell us some of his opinions on a variety of things. We heard it's such a spectrum, from political stories to palm reading drug fronts to Rudy Giuliani to, the list is endless. And we had a surprise guest. Some of you might wonder, if Jack was the guest, who was producing the episode? Well, you'll have to listen and find out. So enjoy this episode of Not Too Deep with Jack Ferry. And when you're done, go over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/itsgrace, and see the challenge that Jack and I participated in, appropriately titled The Challenge. It was our year in review of all the challenges that we have gone through on Not Too Deep. And it was amazing how much we forgot. But really fun. So I hope you enjoy this episode of Not Too Deep with Jack Ferry. And make sure you check out the YouTube challenge when you're done. Thanks for listening, guys. Enjoy.
How do I look?
That's how every podcast audio should start. How do I look? How do I look? You look great. If they only knew the new facial tattoo you got. Jack Ferry, this is so fun.
Yeah.
We thought it would be a really great way to kind of round out the year with a good old-fashioned Jack Ferry episode of Not Too Deep.
Yes, indeed.
This is the first time we're doing it. Did we do this last year?
This is the first time I've been on the in front of the camera on the podcast as a guest.
I know you are this man behind the curtain to everyone.
Yeah.
And this has been demanded by the masses. They want this Jack Ferry episode. They need this Jack Ferry episode.
I guess so.
Hopefully we deliver.
Yeah, hopefully you guys like what I have to say.
Because Lord knows it's really important questions that will be asked.
Hopefully they're not after get back behind the camera.
Unsubscribe. I thought it'd be fitting, since this is kind of an end of the year roundup, to ask you some of the old questions that I've asked previous guests on episodes of Not Too Deep.
What a great idea.
Yes. So let's jump right in.
Okay, cool.
Do you like leg hair or arm hair better?
On me?
I mean, you have to interpret that for yourself, I guess.
Let's see. Leg hair or arm? Yeah, I'm going to go arm hair.
Arm hair.
Yeah.
Okay. On you or on people?
In general.
In general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think arm hair can kind of look masculine on a guy.
Yes, that's true.
And sort of delicate and feminine on a lady.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Whereas leg hair just never looks good, I don't think.
No, yeah.
On either men or women.
I don't think leg hair is a great. I don't think legs are a great place for hair.
No, I agree.
Can't say, but to each their own. If you like your leg hair.
Do you remember there was American Apparel ads back when they were selling men's shorts that were ridiculously short? And then they would hire these really skinny male models with the hairiest legs possible. Yeah. And I'm just that's just not a good look.
I don't know how that sold more shorts. I don't know that advertisement was working.
I mean, I get it. It's own it. You've got hairy legs, man. Wear those short shorts.
Yeah, if American Apparel is going to do something, it's going to confuse the senses. Yes. That's their specialty.
Yes.
If you could give yourself any award or have an award dedicated to you, what type of award would you want dedicated to you?
What? Well, this is boring because I would want a filmmaking award
or
something.
I won an Oscar.
Yeah, an Oscar. So, next question. No, you know what? I want an EGOT.
Oh, okay. What about an award that's you're being honored as blank of the year, that you have to give a speech of acceptance, and you have time to think about it? There is an event held in your honor.
Okay.
What do you want your title to be?
So I get like a lifetime achievement award at like the Kiwanis Club or something.
Yeah, big time. My mom's there clapping right along. Like if I had to be on stage and I was like, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce Jack Ferry as blank, 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 blank.
Okay. So I've given 2 best man speeches.
Have you?
Yeah. And it was really fun because what I realized was this could just be a roast.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Those are the best speeches when they become a roast and
Yeah.
it's just entertaining.
Yeah.
Who were they for?
One was for my best friend from New Jersey, and one was for my brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun.
I destroyed my brother.
I feel like that's the only chance you really get the permission in front of family and friends.
What's great is he loved it. My brother has such a great sense of humor.
That's great.
That after, like, he was just like, dude, best speech ever, man. He loved it.
Well, I like when you can tell that the maid of honor and the best man are comfortable giving the speech and are entertaining.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some that are just kind of painful.
I've seen some of the worst.
Yeah.
The people when they're like, I'm just going to wing it, you know it's going to be a bad speech.
It's going to be bad. It's going to linger for way too long about nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, I've talked too much, so cheers.
Yeah, I'll give one piece of advice if you're
Yes.
going to do a best man or maid of honor speech, which is just, if you don't know what to write, just pick one sort of iconic story.
Yeah.
And just go off of that.
Yep.
Because if you can just do one iconic story and just build off of that, then it doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be too much.
Yep.
That's really it.
I think that's a good piece of advice. I will say complimenting the significant other is always
100%.
a good thing to do. Very classy.
Well, I kind of roasted her a little bit too.
But she's your sister-in-law now.
Yeah, in a way that was fun.
Yeah.
So I guess, do you remember when Stephen Colbert did like that like speech in front of, it was like the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he just like roasted George W. Bush
No, I didn't
in front of George W. Bush?
Amazing.
Like, that would kind of be amazing. Not that I would want to roast Obama, but I would love to, that would be pretty epic.
Yeah, to have permission to make fun of someone very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
encouraged.
Yeah. I would love to do one of those like Comedy Central roasts.
Those seem kind of stressful to me because they're not only is it comedians roasting one person, but they're roasting each other too.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And it just, some of it gets like real
I got roasted by Jeff Ross.
Did you?
Yeah.
The roast master?
The roast master. He was doing something at the YouTube space, and so he did like a little mini set for us, the participants of
that's
this workshop
great.
or whatever. And at the end, like when he finished like his stuff, he was like, "Does anyone want to get roasted?" And I like my hand shot up immediately. That's like a like once in a lifetime opportunity. And he just made fun of me because
He's amazing.
because we're both from New Jersey. So
right.
naturally,
I watched his special that I guess he did a long time ago where he roasted inmates in prison. And
I want to see that.
it's really good. It starts off a little shaky and you wonder like what's going to happen. There's like he roasts a male prison and a female prison. And it's so interesting how he kind of approaches them differently. And it's really amazing how he really like feels out the room of the inmates, especially the males.
So he pulls some punches at first.
Yeah.
And then he probably opens up.
Yeah. And
That's cool.
he like kind of backhandedly like compliments them of like, we all fuck up, we all make mistakes. That's probably why most of you are here because you made one bad mistake. And you know what? I believe that you can be better. And like, it's weirdly motivational and inspirational.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Highly recommend. Okay. What do you think about people in restaurants that make the guacamole right next to your table?
Oh, that makes me nervous. I hate that.
It's just such an awkward social thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, do I make conversation now?
It's unnecessary. That happened to us when we went to, I remember we went to like a big group dinner in London and they did that. Remember we went to that, it was like Jamie Oliver's like Mexican restaurant or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need
This
to see it
isn't
get
Benihana.
made.
Get away.
But it's always rare that it's only guacamole. It's not like the whole meal gets prepared in front of
Not
you.
to mention, it's like, what? Like, I trust you, dude. I know you're not going to use like a rotten avocado.
I'm like, this isn't impressive. You're just punching shit in a bowl
Yeah.
next to me. Like, you're proving to me that I could have made this at home. Is this what you're trying to do?
In a culture that doesn't really tip. So what's the?
I know.
I didn't get that.
How do you think the Frisbee got invented? I know. It really is a challenging thought.
Well, that immediately when I hear that question, it just makes me think of the scene in Back to the Future 3.
Didn't see it.
You didn't see Back to the Future 3?
No, I barely remember Back to the Future. I don't know that I watched that full movie.
All right, well, spoiler, but
Yeah.
in Back to the Future 3, they're in the Old West.
Whoa.
And Michael J. Fox throws a pie tin at like a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then he looks down at like the pie tin and it says Frisbee on it. And he's like, huh, that's funny. And the joke being like, that's how the Frisbee was invented. I like to think that Joe Frisbee,
A guy with a lot of time on his hands.
yeah, also from New Jersey.
Yes.
Came from a poor family.
Yes.
And they only had hubcaps to play with.
He's Irish, New Jersey?
Oh, absolutely. From the Irish Catholic.
Are you pitching me a film right now?
I am pitching you a film. Frisbee, A Boy in His Dream.
Yeah. Well, you got to get inventive.
Hollywood, call me.
Yeah. Mr. Hollywood, please call me.
Mr. Hollywood, if you want to see my movie about Mr. Frisbee.
I see where you're going here. How do you prefer your potatoes?
I'm not a potato guy.
Not even French fries?
I mean...
Like tots? Mashed potatoes?
Okay, I do like a tater tot.
Okay.
I'll admit it.
Well, thank God you're human.
Yeah, I am human.
Human.
I like a good tot.
They're delicious and they're very overlooked.
Yeah.
Especially, have you ever had sweet potato tots?
I'm not a sweet potato guy.
Whoa, okay.
I
Cross
know.
the line.
Sorry,
I crossed the line.
not to get divisive here, but
No?
it's starchy food just doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me.
Humble brag. Well, I'll skip my next question. Why is bread the best? What secret power would you most want?
Okay. I think probably freeze time.
Oh, but like you can move within time freezing?
Of course, naturally. If I froze too, that would be that'd be the worst power.
It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. Probably freeze time.
Reverse time? Like rewind? Only freeze. Fast forward?
No, that would be cool too.
I would like to be able to manipulate time like a movie on a DVR player.
Yeah. That would be cool. I'd be into that.
Yeah.
So you want to recreate the Adam Sandler movie Click?
Oh yeah, that where he actually could do that was it with an actual remote control?
Yeah, with a magical remote control that I believe he got from who's the dude he got that from? Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah,
I haven't watched the movie, so I don't really.
No, I need to watch the trailer, and you've seen the whole film.
There you go.
That's the sign of
Morgan
a great
Freeman
trailer.
wasn't available.
I thought you were going to tell me Morgan Freeman was in the movie.
Oh, that would have been great.
I would have been like, whoa, he did them a favor somehow.
But there's like an ongoing debate as to what the best superpower is: flying versus being invisible. If I had to choose between the two, which would you choose between the two?
I would, if you mean like being able to go in and out of being invisible.
Yes.
You're not invisible forever.
Right, not invisible forever.
I would want invisibility.
You'd want that more than flying?
Yeah, because flying.
It feels cold, doesn't it? Don't you think it'd be
And
cold
also
up there?
like it's cool for a second, but then you're like, now what? It's like those stupid gliders. Like it must be fun at first, and then you're like, well, no, I did that. So
yeah.
What happens next?
Now I just want to walk like a normal person.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, those gliders are flying. You're moving without using your arms or legs.
That's true.
And
I would like to have a flying car when I'm stuck in traffic. Los Angeles.
hey, very inside baseball.
Yes, sorry.
What would you choose, flying or invisibility?
I would choose invisibility too.
What about being able to read minds?
I feel like that would be a curse.
I would hate that.
Yeah.
I used to think that would be what I wanted, but no. If you really practically try and think through what that would be like, it would be miserable.
Yeah.
And how many thoughts you actually have in a moment of time, like how many passing thoughts speed through.
It would be like shouting. You'd be like, shut up, shut up, stop thinking.
And it's like, wait, what's the Mel Gibson movie, What Women Want, where he could read their thoughts or something?
Classic movie. Yes, that sounds terrible.
It seems like movies get made by just taking one superpower, giving it to a struggling man in their mid-40s, and see what happens.
That sounds about right.
That sounds fantastic.
There was a superhero. It wasn't a superhero. He was like a minor character. I remember when I used to read comic books when I was a kid, there was a character that had the ability to like, he could convince somebody like in a business negotiation, like he could make deals? he can make deals happen.
Wow.
But the trade-off was then afterwards he got like a really awful nosebleed.
What?
Yeah.
That's the aftermath
That
of
was
it?
the after. I can't remember the name of the character, but I remember reading about
That sounds like a terrible super character.
He was. I think he was like the manager of like the Justice League or whatever. And but I was like, that would kind of be an amazing trait to have out here because then I could just
make
be
business
getting
deals.
deals done. I just carry lots of Kleenex.
Constant nosebleeds. Everyone's like, he's a cocaine addict, but a great negotiator.
Yeah, well, that would just be like, he's perfect for Hollywood. He makes deals and his nose bleeds all the time.
What's your zodiac sign?
I am a Libra.
Oh, same.
I know, because we have like the same birthday.
Yeah, I just did a star chart reading. Highly recommend it.
Oh.
Anyone out there wondering if they should do one? I'm a double Libra.
Ooh, a double. So you're equally balanced.
Yeah, I have no fire in me, and that's why. Yeah, I don't have any fire, so that's why
really
I need to
funny.
surround myself with people who have fire. Also, Johnny Carson, double Libra.
Double Libra.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. This was already worth it. Star chart reading.
So what's involved with the star chart reading? They just find out when exactly you were born?
Yeah, it's this amazing woman that Hannah recommended to me, and we did it over the phone. She had no idea about who I was before it. I just told her when I was born, what time I was born, where I was born, and she went through and described my personality very, very exactly.
Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
I would do this.
It was really cool, and then she went on.
Was it expensive?
Slightly, yeah.
Okay.
And then she went on to tell me some of the major moments that are going to come up for me in the next like 8 to 10 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really cool. And it is slightly vague, but then you can also ask more specific questions and she can get clarity on that for you.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Highly recommend. It just gives you a better understanding of yourself a little bit because a lot of it was stuff like I already know about myself, but then hearing a complete stranger say it really made it confirmed in some ways.
interesting.
But also being able to talk it through in a way that's like, this is why this is great about you and how you should be using this or finding out how you can use this.
That sounds cool. I mean, I would definitely be into. I've gone to like palm readers.
Yeah.
Like just randomly as like
Have you?
on a lark in New York, like 2 or 3 times in my life, and every.
I'm always so suspicious of the ones in New York that have like the neon sign in the front. I'm like, how? And they're like, palm readings $10. How are you actually making enough money to keep that storefront in New York?
Right, so I have a story about this.
Okay.
Because where I used to live in East Village, I used to live above a palm reader.
Really?
And had that exact same thought. One night, it was like a weeknight too. I used to smoke. This was many, many years ago. I went outside and had to have a cigarette on the stoop, and a Bentley pulled up.
What?
This was at like 2:30 in the morning on like a Wednesday.
Okay.
And then a pretty well dressed guy got out, went into the palm reader's office. Couple minutes, left holding a bag, and then drove away. And then I was like, oh, you're drug dealers. Now, like, that makes so much more sense.
That is my thought. Was like, this has to be a front for something. There were a couple restaurants like that in Brooklyn that were hilariously, obviously a front, where it's just old men playing chess out front.
Right.
Not a single customer sitting down eating anything all day.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do they possibly stay in business? They have this whole restaurant to themselves and there's practically this whole building. How do they make enough money to pay rent? And then you're like, oh yeah, they're very clearly trafficking some drugs back there.
But you know, I didn't see any, and so when I tell people that, they're always like, well, you don't know, maybe he went in there and got a reading at 2:30 in the
and
morning.
she paid him.
Right.
There are
but they live there. That's the other thing. I think that part of the reason they were able to afford it
is because they probably have lived there for years and years.
Yeah, because my original apartment was literally right above them.
Yeah.
And it was awful because they chain smoked.
Was it rent controlled?
That apartment I was living in, it was,
That's nice.
It was like it was one of those really cool, like older East Village buildings too.
Yeah.
So it had like that like really amazing, like tiled, like staircase and stuff.
Oh, cool.
It's since been gutted, unfortunately. I know. Progress. But I remember when I lived like right above them, and you know, they had like a baby, like their entire family was in the back there.
Right.
So I think that's part of the reason. It's sort of like, 2 for 1. We get an apartment and a business. Because the business is literally just like a couch in front of a piece of drywall.
Yeah. I've never been inside of one, and it's always a shade covering it so you can't see inside.
Yeah.
So you're like, what does it look like in there? Do I even want to know?
I've been to a couple. I've never gone to that one just because it was just like, neighbor. What if she says something weird?
I have to see her every day.
Right. She'd be like, "You're gonna die soon," and it's always been sort of like eerie how accurate it's been. And I'm not really a believer in that kind of stuff.
Sure,
but yeah, it's always been a little bit like, whoa, that's crazily accurate.
Yeah, I try and say I get very gullible. Like I'll believe anything anyone tells me.
Sure.
And so I try and maintain some skepticism. I've done a tarot card reading out here with someone that was recommended that actually does a lot of readings for a lot of celebrities. She is amazing. It was truly one of those moments
I
where,
would do that too. That sounds fun.
yeah, and because she had been recommended by a friend that had been going to her, by Nikki Limo actually, that was on the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Nikki had been going to her for years and years and was really had seen a lot of, you know, the reality of the predictions come true. And so I went and, you know, there's no like list online that tells you how to be or what to do in those things. So you just sort of sit. And I always try and stay a little quiet so that I'm not giving them information. For some reason, I want to be like, prove to me what you know without me saying anything.
Yeah, so, you don't want to tip your hand.
No, and that because I feel like that's like the
I'm getting an M vibe.
Yeah, what's the Jonathan Edwards thing?
Yeah.
Like crossing
over? Was it
over?
M or V?
Yeah, V.
No,
P?
D. I meant D. I meant D.
And
P.
it's like
Definitely P. Wait, my brother's name is Paul.
Yeah. Yes, it's a brother. It's a brother. I could see it's a brother. You guys are brothers. You're related.
But he's
it's a
not
brother.
dead. Okay, then a father maybe.
Yeah.
Paul Senior. Yeah.
Do you have any rituals?
Do I have any rituals?
Yeah, or like things you do.
Not really. In fact, that's like one of the things that I'm bad about is like getting into a routine.
Well, any like little isms that you do like before you're going to shoot something or like before you do a show or something if you're nervous or I guess that sort of thing. You like to dress well. We talked about this earlier. You like to dress like Paul Feig.
I do.
Inspired.
Well, I don't dress like Paul Feig. Paul Feig likes to wear like the whole 3-piece suit. I just like to look nice.
Yeah. What's that like?
I just decided one day that I was just like, you know, I'm trying to dress like a schlubby kid.
Yeah.
I want to look nice.
Well, yeah, because I feel like there are two types of professionals, especially in Hollywood. There's like the zip-up hoodie comedy writer look.
Yes.
That's just like kind of sloppy.
Yes.
But like there's actually, you know, a lot of effort pulled into this like effortless quote-unquote look.
Yeah.
And it's so generic in my mind now.
It was a conscious decision because, and the same thing with the beard, I grew a beard on purpose because...
Did you?
Yeah, because I mean, when we worked together in New York, I didn't have a beard.
That's right. I'm so bad about remembering men's facial hair specifically. You could come in tomorrow with a clean shaven face and I wouldn't notice.
That's funny.
You would have to tell me and prove to me that you had a beard today.
That's really funny. But I think because I look a lot younger without my beard, and obviously my beard is pretty gray. And I just made the conscious decision after I was just dealing with sort of a bad experience where I was kind of getting jerked around with this guy who was just basically, I felt like I was being treated like, he's just some fucking kid, whatever.
Right.
And then I got annoyed by it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do the whole director thing. Because I don't know if like the whole like beards on directors came about because...
That's a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing from like those 70s directors. So it was like, you know, Spielberg and George Lucas and all that. It was all like a conscious decision to like... as a way of like, they were like scrawny, like little 20-somethings.
Right.
And they were concerned about having respect on set. And so they grew these like really lush full beards. So they would like look a little bit older.
Really?
And command more respect. And I never put much stock into it. And so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And so I grew up my beard and it was like instant.
The respect
difference.
change?
Yes.
Respect level got...
Like I could really, and maybe it's placebo effect, I don't know, but it really did feel different.
Interesting.
In my interactions, people just took me more seriously, like because I don't know, they saw
subconscious kind of like...
Yeah, I really think that that's true, and that's one of the reasons why I've been hesitant to shave it, even though it's really annoying.
Does it itch?
Maintaining a beard. No, that's not what's irritating about it. It's just it's so much easier to just shave.
Really?
Than it is to like maintain. To manscape.
You do the manscaping.
What? Well, isn't that what you call it when you like shape a beard?
I guess so. Yeah. Manscaping always sounds so gross to me.
Yeah, I think that could also mean like, you know, the rest of the
hairs.
Yeah.
Speaking of hairs, what would you call a book that you wrote? What would be the title?
A book that I wrote.
That's great. Someone transcribe that. How do we get that?
I would say, okay, a book that I wrote.
Krampus, an autobiography.
Yeah. I would do, oh God, what would it be?
Would you ever write a memoir?
Absolutely.
Really?
100%. I have some fucking weird stories.
Really?
Yeah. Anna Kana has a podcast.
Yeah.
And she interviewed me because I had this old life in news.
Right,
in TV
I know,
news.
which I completely forget about because we met through My Damn Channel.
Right.
And so to me, your life started then. I know nothing of your history other than you're from New Jersey.
That's really funny. Yeah, so I had this whole other life before you and I met in news.
Yeah.
And that was the year that I stopped doing news.
What made you stop doing news?
The live show was full time.
Oh,
That's
but
literally the only reason. And
what did you enjoy doing news and being
I did,
in
but
that
I was
world?
burned out by the time.
I can imagine. Yeah.
By the time I got done. So by the time I got done, I was finished with it because it's really cool. It's a really cool job. You get amazing access to see a lot of things. Like, I might have mentioned this before, but like, do you remember when like Anthony Weiner had to resign?
Yeah, because of like the photo scandal and all that.
I was there at that press conference.
Really?
Like I shot that press conference.
Whoa.
I remember like seeing a clip of it recently. I forget. He was in the news for something. And I was like, that looks like my microphone. And I was like, oh, right, that is my microphone. I was there. I forgot because I had this whole other life.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, I've interviewed really interesting. Like I've interviewed like presidents at the UN. I've interviewed.
Have you really?
Yeah.
What has been, I guess, then in that life that you lived?
Yeah.
What was one of the most interesting interviews that you did, or like the worst or best? Something that just like really is.
Here's a funny story. Okay, so this is an interesting story about Rudy Giuliani.
Okay.
So I met Rudy Giuliani because he was doing a book tour, and he came into the studio, and the first thing he did when he got there was he walks around and introduces himself to every single crew member.
Wow.
And super friendly, really nice. I was wearing my Yankees hat, and he was just like,
Purposefully?
no, not on purpose. I was just, it was
Yeah.
an early morning shoot. And so he comes up to me and says, I was like, hi, my name is Jack. Oh, nice to meet you, Jack. Hey, I love that hat. And then that was it. And then we shot like the media tour or whatever. Because like it was one of those things where it's like, joining us live from New York is Rudy Giuliani. And he
Sure.
was in whatever, morning show for like whatever, Phoenix or whatever. And then, so several years later, he was in the news again because he was consulting for like the police in Mexico or something like that. So he comes to a completely different studio.
Oh, I think you told me this. Yeah.
Have I told you this?
Maybe.
But I don't think I've told it on the show.
Right. No.
So he comes to the studio, a completely different studio, does the same thing, goes around the room, introduces himself to everybody. And then he gets to me, and I'm not wearing a hat. And he goes, oh, hey, Jack. How about those Yankees?
What?
Yeah.
So he's one of those guys that has like photographic memory and categorizes everyone that he meets.
Certainly did for me. It blew me away.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's something that's the superpower I wish I could have is remembering people's names and faces
Yeah.
and where I've met them before and in what context.
Ditto. I'm a lot closer. I've gotten better at it because I think that's something you can actually train yourself to do.
Yeah. It's just a matter of becoming very present in the moments when you meet people.
Yeah.
I'm awful. I'm the worst.
I'm bad at it too because I get nervous when I meet new people and I
Right.
tend to think about myself.
Same.
Not about them. And that's the key is you have to think about them. What are they saying?
Right. I get concerned in my brain about how I'm coming off in the initial moment of saying hello.
Yeah.
And I never, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's now gotten to a point where I just say nice to see you to every single person I meet.
Yeah. That's the worst when someone comes up to you and you should know who they are and you can't remember.
Or if you're like already in mid conversation and you still don't know this person's name that you're talking to.
That's the worst.
I always try to introduce
Me too.
a friend or
Always.
someone nearby that I know just in the hopes that they'll say their name. I'm like, oh, hey, Kevin, this is my friend Kevin. Meet each other. I don't want to
Yeah.
say this person's name.
I know. I try to work buddy into like just my regular speech all the time so it doesn't seem like I'm doing it. I'd be like, hey, buddy, how's it going, man? Because I always say that when I don't remember someone's name. And so I also say it when I do remember your name.
Yeah.
So that no one's wiser.
I say, hey boy, hey girl.
Really?
Yeah, it's so stupid. I
That's so
say it in
funny.
like the mocking way of trying to be like, hey girl.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But it's because
In the
I don't know
internet
the name.
voice.
Yeah. But
Yes.
because now, Jack Ferry, you get to answer the questions that everyone gets to
Oh,
answer.
good.
Before we take a quick break, who would you, Jack Ferry, most want to throw cold spaghetti at?
Okay, so ever since you started asking this question,
Have you been thinking about your answer?
and I haven't had an answer until I went to New York.
Uh-oh.
So I went to New York and I went to see a Broadway show with Chris Kendall.
Okay.
And it was The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I
Oh.
recommend it.
Okay.
And there was a dude sitting behind me who was just not into it.
Oh, God.
Not into the show. And he felt the need to discuss it with his wife about how. Okay, here's the thing. He is excellent, the actor in the play.
Yeah.
He is excellent, but this play, it's not for me. And also, it's not child appropriate. And they had brought their like grandkids or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, okay, we got it, guy. Enough with your fucking review. I'm trying to watch the show. I would 100% throw cold spaghetti.
It would probably, he would have been like, you know what? I see your intention. Cold spaghetti in my face? Not for me. Not for me. Not child appropriate.
A warm spaghetti would have been more effective.
I hate that. I hate when people feel like it's so selfish where they
It
feel
really
like
is.
they need to audibly comment on everything. That's what happened when I was at the Taylor Swift concert with Mamrie. There was a guy with a girlfriend.
I know. You show me the photo of this dude.
This kid was the fucking worst. Like the worst. Like I seriously hope that girl broke up with him
Yeah.
immediately after that
Me too.
concert. Because it was the entire...
I hope the next girl breaks up with him too.
Yeah.
That's just
I
fucked
hope
up.
he finds happiness in something because he was fucking miserable and had to make sure it was known every 5
Here's
minutes.
the thing. You can be miserable
To yourself.
to yourself.
Yeah.
We don't need the running comment. And the other thing that I would have said to the guy, if, I wanted to get into it,
Mm-hmm.
not that I do, but if I did, I would have been like, you can just say it once.
Yeah.
We heard you. We
Yeah.
heard that you don't think this show is very good and that it's not child appropriate and that the lead actor is very good.
Okay.
You don't have to say it 8 times.
Yeah, we got it. We got
We
it.
totally got it.
When you can repeat yourself, it doesn't make it different.
Yes.
And now I'm sure everyone is dying to know, Jack Ferry, we gotta hear your worst pants shitting experience in 3 words or 3 small phrases. I don't believe you've ever mentioned it.
No, I never have.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. When we first started this show,
Yeah.
originally it was your worst shit story.
Yeah.
And then somehow it became pants. Because here's the thing. I have a pants shitting story, but it's not very interesting. It would just be like,
Then this extends to worst shit story.
because I have a great worst shit story.
Great.
Which is better than my pants shit. Because the pants shitting story would just be like, really, really sick, ruined pajama bottoms. And it's like, meh.
It's a great log line for a film starring Adam Sandler.
Right. Whereas my worst shit story
Yeah, tell me about it.
was, okay.
3 words, 3 small phrases.
3 words, 3 small phrases would be first date,
Uh-oh.
no toilet paper,
Uh-oh.
trash can.
Oh, I got a visual.
Isn't that better?
That is better in that it's absolutely worse. It's
Yes, that's what I
awful.
mean. That's what I mean.
Well, that's fantastic. We're going to take a super quick break. And when we get back, we're going to hear Jack Ferry respond to your guys' questions because you have a lot of them, I'm sure. And hopefully Mitchell Davis might swing by and hang out with us so that someone can goddamn Jack check this podcast episode.
Need to get a Mitchell check.
Please. We'll be right back with more Not Too Deep.
Not too deep, not too deep.
All right, good news, everyone.
Finally, our producer has shown
Our
up.
producer has
gosh.
finally shown up.
You're not gonna believe the day I've had. You're not gonna believe it. It's just like T. Cruz was on me all this morning. That's Tom Cruise. If you didn't catch that.
Oh, I didn't.
T. Cruz.
T. Cruz. It's just been a sitch. It's been a real sitch.
It's been a sitch.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy that you're here now. You're safe now.
I'm not gonna lie, the Uber I had here was so pleasant.
Was it?
Was it a nice
He
Uber
played
ride?
Christmas music the whole time, and at first I hated it, and then by the end I was straight jamming with the guy.
Did they play that classic Christmas
Yeah,
jam?
it was just that one. That's the one they got. That was exactly what it was.
My
Love it.
favorite one.
So good.
I know all the words.
Mariah Carey. I
think you made
beautiful
that up.
voice.
She's beautiful.
Well, we're back with the second half of Not Too Deep with Jack Ferry. And we're going to answer some of
And
your...
producer extraordinaire.
Mitchell Davis.
Thank you.
Mitchell, have you been so excited to be the producer?
You have no idea. You have no idea. I'm ecstatic. People at home don't see it because it sounds the same.
Yeah.
But I'm on fire right now.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally on fire.
Yeah.
We
You
do
should
not
do
have
something
good
about
fire
it.
Yeah,
alarms.
no, it's hot. It's very hot.
I just bought that chair.
Yeah, I know. It's for Christmas. Why am I doing this?
Well, we just talked for a half hour and caught up without you.
Damn it.
Which was maybe the fastest half hour of my life. It went by so
flew
quickly.
by.
It's that seat. It's the
that-
seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, over here, I feel like it's going to take forever.
And we got to hear Jack's worst pants shitting story in 3 words
Yeah,
and
you
3
missed
small
it.
phrases.
You know what? I'll get to check it out on the podcast.
Yeah.
You will.
Listen to that. Subscribe. Okay, so now we're going to answer some of the questions that you guys have tweeted at us, and they're really good.
Oh, good.
Some of them are a little bit more serious, I guess. But we'll start with this one.
Okay.
I think you might have a great answer. What is your most important advice for freshmen in college?
Oh, okay.
Because you went to NYU,
I did good at NYU, yeah.
which I'm sure was a crazy experience.
It was awesome. Here's the thing. This is the year where you can really like set your tolerance level for alcohol. So
I thought you were going to say for the world. I was like, this could go either way.
freshman in
I feel like freshman's the year that you like fuck around, literally like sexually and like professionally. Like give yourself permission to kind of screw things up and figure things out.
I would say, yeah, I think you need to be. Here's the thing. Well, when's this podcast coming? Podcast is coming out like right after Christmas, before New Year's. So.
Before New Year's.
Yeah, I can check that. That's for sure. That's a fact.
Thanks.
We just got Jack checked.
So if you're a freshman, then you're already a freshman, and you've been a freshman for the first semester. I
Yeah.
would say this: the thing that I learned about freshman year was, it's really intense because you're away from home,
Yeah.
and so you have like all these new people in your life,
It's a lot of new stuff at once.
and so you're like, these are going to be my best friends forever, and some of them will be,
Right.
most of them will not,
Right. That's very true.
including a lot of the ones that you think will be.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to like stop being friends with people that don't make you feel like good.
Yeah, it'll surprise you who you end up like staying friends with.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like there'll be the people who be like, I can't believe we've been friends this long.
Yeah.
Because I think friendship is one of those things that kind of it chooses you. So don't force it. That's what I would say.
That's good advice.
That was beautiful.
Very, very.
Friendship chooses you.
Was
Too
it-
deep. Too deep.
Yeah.
Eject. Okay, Jack Ferry, what do you think was the best Not Too Deep challenge?
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
That's a great question because there have been many a times where Jack has like texted me in the middle of the night, like with a few ideas for games.
Yeah.
Just being like,
Some of our best challenges came from Mitchell.
Yeah.
The Human Christmas Tree Challenge was you.
That was fun. Yeah,
was really
we've
fun.
had some fun times on the porch brainstorming
Yeah.
like challenge games, like gracifying games is what we've been doing.
Yeah, basically.
I think
I can't remember. I blocked so many of them out.
I thought the one that was the most fun, actually, that was just the most fun was Who Tweeted with
Who Tweeted?
Kingsley.
Ooh, that was
Oh.
I loved watching
Because you could
that.
play it at home.
That was really fun. It was also very educational.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about people. Yeah, that one was really fun. I'm trying to think back to the ones that we did at the YouTube space. Oh, one of the most fun in the absolute worst way possible was the sardine challenge with sorted food.
Oh, yeah.
man,
that,
that
was
was-
awful.
Yeah. Oh, but I do have to say, and this isn't biased because Mitchell's here, one of my absolute favorite challenges was the takeover challenge.
Oh yeah, that
was amazing.
That was so much fun.
Well,
it was so elaborate.
It didn't make any sense. And then also the fact that you weren't informed on what was happening
that
before
was
you got
pretty
there.
great.
Yeah, there was another level of
Yeah, they were like, don't worry about it. Just put this poncho on.
Yeah, and I was already just like, I had just found out what was going on, like just about the podcast, like not even an hour before.
And I missed that about our show. Now that people kind of know what the deal is.
Well, you always love surprising them. That's not my jam. I do not like surprising people because I get anxiety about putting myself in their shoes and having to deal with the pressure of what is about to happen.
Well, what we used to do before the podcast came out was I would send these emails to people being like, they didn't know what the name of the show was. They just knew it was
No,
Grace's
it was like a big
podcast.
secret. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, just come open.
It's called
and willing,
#Secret Project.
Just come open and willing to talk about things. It's really important. Honesty is really important. Don't worry about being funny. It's just what's really important is this, like, you're just open and willing to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
And so people thought it was going to be like this really deep.
We all thought it was going to be a Rhett and Link situation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And then they sit down there and you're like,
And Rhett and Link
do you want
especially.
hot dogs for fingers or pencils for fingers? And they're like, what the fuck is this show?
No, I was on the
Who would you
episode
throw spaghetti at?
with Rhett and Link, so it was like
Yeah.
we were back to back, and I just remember we were both sitting there like, oh, this is the show.
Right.
Okay, we were
Rhett and
fooled.
Link.
Yeah.
I think, it's funny that the podcast is like indirectly inspired by Rhett and Link's podcast because they were by far the most confused guests we had.
100%.
They just kept looking at me like, what? Why would we answer something?
Is this
like
the
that?
question, really?
Yeah, and they were the ones that they were afterwards. They were like, "That was really difficult." I was like, "It was?" I thought it was like stupid and fun. They were like, "No, it was really hard to feel like on." I was like, "But that's the thing. You don't have to be on.
Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
on."
Because when we did Tyler Oakley would just you can ask that kid anything. He doesn't care.
Premia Fatus. Immediately out of nowhere, I wear my umbilical cord and I swish it around
Oh
on
my
stage.
God, so good.
What?
And every letter has an accent because every letter is important. So funny.
I really liked the cotton ball challenge with Rhett and Link
Yeah,
too,
that was great.
because they really commit when they do
yeah.
challenges, and just Link screaming and trying to like flop cotton balls on his head was
good times.
so funny.
He really had no clue how many were in that thing.
Yeah.
Ever. Never.
So it was so funny, and he was just like, "I'm dominating," and it's just nothing
He was
happening.
doing so well, and he wasn't at all.
I also really liked the challenge with Vsauce because
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
he is he's such an intelligent human being that you don't expect him to just like blindfoldedly pop a bunch of balloons on a floor with me. And just the fact that this amazingly smart man is crawling around on his hands and knees trying to pop balloons. Oh, I will say I'm just thinking through all these challenges now. They're all coming back to me.
Yeah.
The rubber chicken one with Ollie.
Oh, God.
In the room. Like the funniest part is just us like idiots blindfolded trying to find rubber chickens, and then there's like 6 adults off camera just watching us happen.
it, yeah. In my defense for that challenge,
What is your defense?
I was not in the room when they hid the chickens. So if I was, I would have, because I brought you in. Remember?
Yeah.
Or no, I brought Ollie in and Chester brought you in.
Yeah.
And when I walked in, I was like, why did you put them in such hard places? This is
Well,
going to go on forever. And it did.
It lasted
we
forever.
shot for 25 minutes.
And when you watch it back, it's literally like us screaming, like, "Are we close? Are we close?" And we're touching a wall, and the chicken is 2 inches above us, and then we walk away from it.
It's
and
so frustrating.
Okay, Jack Ferry 99 on Twitter. How emotionally scarred are you from Not Too Deep?
Not at all.
Oh.
There's nothing.
If anything, this has healed a lot of wounds. I feel like.
He's grown as a human.
Yeah,
You can
this
tell.
is
You
like
can tell.
the most. This is the silliest thing I work on. So
it's-
there's no scarring.
It's like a great release, especially when there's wonderful guests. Like,
Yeah.
the next question is, what has been the funniest episode to record? And for me, just the first one that comes into my brain is the one with Nikki Limo.
Oh, yeah, that one's great.
Somehow we just like got a case of the sillies, and we're just giggling the entire time about George Bush getting shoes thrown at him.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And that I just remember laughing about that for hours after the podcast was done too. But for some reason, it got me so good during the episode. That was a really fun episode to record.
yeah, I mean, I have fun every time. Honestly,
It's great to see how people react, I think. Who's been the most surprising guest in your opinion?
The most surprising guest.
Recently, Troy was great.
Oh yeah, Troy was amazing.
He just the things he said with like such meek confidence.
Yeah.
He's
Soft
like,
teeth.
I have soft teeth. I love flossing. I love flossing. Like, what? Are you for real right now?
Yeah.
I have a baby character that I've done my entire life.
Bubby. I love Bubby.
What?
That was amazing.
He
Just
was-
getting to edit that, I was just like blown away with his little like movement.
I know, 'cause he's-
Yeah, he was
So
like, "Do you want me to
good.
just do it? You want me to do it right now?"
like,
He
of
was
course.
game,
Yeah. Because his body is like 5 toothpicks glued together.
I would say I really liked Gabby's
Oh, her-
ghost
her-
stories. They
Listening
were great.
That freaked me out.
That was amazing.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You were going through the edit with me, and every like 2 seconds, I wouldn't let you get any work done because I was just like, "Is she for real? Is she for real?
If
Is
you
this
watch,
for real?"
and she has more stories on her YouTube channel that are even freakier.
Yeah.
I really want to bring her back and talk more about it.
I'm afraid to
I'd love
like
to have her back.
hang
She's
out
so
with her
funny.
now.
I
Every time I
know.
see her, I'm just like, "Is it gonna attach on me?"
But that's why I was like, what did you bring to my house?
Exactly. Yeah.
She was fantastic. I'm trying to think of other guests. There's
We've
been
had so many. I mean, this is episode 51, if I'm not
Is it
mistaken.
really?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like it just started. That's
I know.
I
crazy.
know, it's nuts.
it's real bonkers when you look back at it.
Although 10 of those episodes were like Mitchell Davis. So
That's true.
So
And
there's a
Mamer.
best of already being built.
Yeah, there's a clip episode.
Jeez.
Trying to think, who else have we had recently that was a really great guest? That I have to like go back through the archives. and look
Harley was really hilarious.
Oh,
the way
Harley-
he approached the challenge.
One of my favorite episodes was the live one with Harley
Yeah, it was
in
really great.
Toronto. He was making me laugh so hard that I don't think I really talked for most of the episode. I think I was just listening and cackling to his stories. He was really fantastic. Jack, here's a question for you.
Okay.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
Oh, God.
I would say not too deep related.
Okay. Of course. Naturally. Well, then you took my answer.
Hey.
My proudest accomplishment. Shit.
What kind of shit was it?
Whoa. I thought that was a microphone malfunctioning. That was your mouth?
Sorry. Yes, that was my mouth. Sorry.
How dare you?
My proudest accomplishment. I'd like to think it hasn't happened yet.
Oh,
Sorry. That's the worst
That's
answer.
a shitty answer, dude.
I'd say it's that beard. It's the beard, the newfound beard.
Well, we were talking about that earlier. It's like the most irritating accomplishment because it's
Yeah.
so annoying to maintain. I would say, let's see, my proudest accomplishment.
Or maybe it's about to happen. You got a bunch of projects in the works.
I do have a bunch of projects in the works. But I would, I'm trying to pick something that I've actually done.
Okay.
I did a couple of videos in the last couple of years, a couple of which that I was very proud of, because they were like new things from things I haven't really done before.
Yeah.
One of which was a short I did called Occupy Alice,
Oh yeah.
which Mitchell's in.
It's a great
actually.
short.
I was a pharmacist.
Thank you.
I like it a lot. And Gabby is in that.
And Gabby is in that as
and
well.
Arden Rose.
And Arden Rose, who's
Yeah.
amazing. And so that was really incredible. I had an amazing time doing that.
Ooh, I would say my proudest accomplishment that you've done.
Yeah, I was like, where is this going?
Let me just take this back and make it about me. No, the thing that I'm most proud of you for accomplishing is probably the last episode of My Dumb Channel Live. The one with the
So good.
the slip and slide.
So good.
The GIFs from that are some of my favorite moments because we're all covered in shaving cream and you can't tell who's who at
Yep.
all. And we're like monsters crawling towards the camera. It was a really fun episode. That was like an hour-long episode or something,
it was
right?
longer than that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Shannon on it too. And,
Yeah, Shannon
and
was there and Beth. And I remember we all went out for drinks afterwards and it was just such a fun feeling of
Yeah.
like, we're done.
That was such a fun project to work on.
Yeah.
Because we had like our own floor basically was the show floor.
Yeah.
That was our office because the My Name Channel brass was on a totally different floor. So because of that, we kind of had carte blanche to do whatever the fuck we wanted.
Yeah.
And and we were able to just do such ridiculous things like a slip and slide on the show.
Yeah.
And no one was there to be like, no, don't do that. That's insane.
Yeah. It was really fun. I really liked, what was it? The Christmas special or something. One where we shot a video, Mamrie and I, the one where we're like putting balloons into stockings and tying
that
them
was
around.
Christmas. Yeah.
That one, I'll see GIFs of that, and it's just like me staring
that
off into
one.
space in the background with a thing covered, like balloons in stockings tied to my head.
Yeah.
All trying to have adult conversation.
Yeah, that was that. But my favorite video I did at My Damn Channel was definitely the haunted house.
Oh God, yeah, that was a great one.
Just-
so many memes.
Just because of how actual scared you were.
I was, and I tried to explain it to people. I was like, I really am terrified of, like, I'm the biggest scaredy cat. Like, I can't.
You lost your voice.
I was.
You screamed yourself out.
Is it for real? Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She did
I
a
was
video
sweating.
after.
I was sweating so hard, and I just kept trying to get people to do more tequila shots with me before we left for the haunted house. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
so terrified.
Yeah.
And classic Jack, wouldn't tell us anything. And they started filming as soon as we left the My Damn Channel building. Like, they filmed our whole walk
Yep.
over to the haunted house.
Yep.
And I kept trying to be like, no, seriously, what? Like, just tell me one thing that's in there. And he's like, nah.
The only thing I said was, they know we're coming.
Oh my God.
And we walked in, it was completely empty. And I was like, something could jump out from anywhere.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they raised the temperature in the haunted house so you're sweating. So like it creates anxiety or
It's
like
terrifying.
It's
It
awful.
is terrifying.
It was awful. It was fun.
Google it, guys.
It was fun.
I think it's, if you just Google Daily Grace haunted house, it'll come up. It's so fucking funny.
I would check, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. What is one facepalm moment from overseeing all of the podcasts?
I would love to hear your answer to
Okay,
this.
one
Yeah.
facepalm moment.
I'm trying to think of a facepalm moment. I have such a hard time
Okay, here's
remembering.
one.
Yeah.
Chubby Beery
Chubby Beery.
instead
is
of
that,
Chuggy Bunny,
yeah.
which is so obvious.
Was that with Mamrie?
Yeah, so we did we were like, we're gonna do like a play on the Chubby Bunny challenge. We'll call it Chubby Beery. And then like as soon as we finished the challenge,
yeah.
Mamrie's like, so what are you guys calling this thing? Chuggy Bunny? We're like, of course it's Chuggy
God
Bunny.
damn
God
it, Mamrie.
damn it.
Yeah, we went
That's
through the whole
so
episode
much
already.
smarter. That was a super facepalm moment for me.
Yeah, that was really good. Facepalm moment for me, I think, was eating the Cinnabon with Flula.
Oh God, yeah.
Because
was a
you
mistake.
couldn't find like any screen grab from that to make a thumbnail. It just looked like some weird fetish film. Like there was no way to
Yep.
make it look okay.
Not a single still frame.
No, that wasn't like
Yeah.
weirdly, overly, grossly sexual.
It was pretty gross.
And that I remember that I kind of facepalm because it's a surprise at that point to the guests what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I remember him being like, because we were just talking about how Flula actually is like very in shape.
Yeah.
And
He's a
we're
very
like,
fit dude.
so the challenge is to eat the worst possible thing for your body, the quickest. And I remember, and he's such a good sport. And I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
afterwards being like, yeah, we probably should have asked about that one beforehand because I could tell that he was not even trying to win. And so as a
Yes.
gracious host, I tried to finish as fast as possible. And I
Yeah.
felt awful after that.
Because remember that was the same day we shot with Hannah, and it was the salt and
Salt and vodka ice challenge.
Yes.
Which was really fun.
yeah, but doing shots of salt water after eating a Cinnabon is
Yeah.
like the worst idea.
It was, the absolute worst idea. Jake Akita wants to know weirdest New Jersey experience.
Oh God, where do I begin?
It's being in New Jersey for anything is pretty weird times.
I'm drawing a blank. Do you have any weird New Jersey experiences when I'm trying to think of one?
Weirdest New Jersey experience? I went to college in New Jersey. That's weird.
Okay. All right.
I think, I remember when I was younger, they taught us about the Jersey Devil.
Oh yeah, that's
Which
pretty
is,
weird.
That doesn't make any, it's like a creature. They don't know if it's like half man, half something. And it's
It's
supposed
like
to
a
live in the woods.
chupacabra.
Yeah. And it's supposed to live
In,
in the
like, the
woods.
Pine Barrens, yeah.
Yeah, which is like right next to where my dad lives. And so I remember learning about it in elementary school and then being like, well, I'm going on visitation with my dad this weekend. Fuck. What? And I didn't understand like what it actually is or supposed to do or.
I don't know either.
Is it the Tasmanian devil? I think it's just the Tasmanian
It's something
devil.
like that. And if you go online, there's all of these photos that people think they've taken of the actual Jersey Devil. It's just like weird shadows in the
Yeah.
woods. They don't look anything. Or it's like a raccoon and they're like, Jersey Devil spotted in the Pine Barrens.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like, because there's actually a lot of farmland in New Jersey. Not a lot of people know that, but like South Jersey is
Yeah.
a lot of farms.
It's
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all like my
Growing what? Like
all kinds.
Tomatoes.
Oh,
Really?
It's
Yeah.
blueberries too. It's
Yeah.
the biggest blueberry. Hamilton is the blueberry capital of like the East Coast.
Oh, the more you
Boom.
know.
Yeah,
Boom.
there's a
You just got
sign.
schooled.
There's
That's
a sign,
crazy.
so it's official. Also, my aunt and uncle that live like 10 minutes away from my mom have 2 alpacas that
Yeah,
they keep
there you
on their
go.
farmland.
I don't know if you know
So,
this, but New
Jersey's-
Jersey is the garden state.
It is. It is. Yeah, I don't know that. I'm sure there's a billion weird New Jersey experience. Oh, that we don't pump our own gas.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah,
You have to, when you
is-
go to get your gas, there's always an
There's
attendant.
attendant.
Is
And
it
it's-
like Portland?
Is that how it is in Portland as well?
Portland, Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's always like a totally stoned 15-year-old kid
Yeah.
that you can just like. I didn't learn how to pump my own gas until I moved to Los Angeles.
Did you think it was super strange?
Yeah, and I couldn't
Yeah.
the first couple of times. Michelle and I actually have a video when we were out here visiting. It's like a 20-minute video of the 2 of us at a gas station trying to figure out how to pump our own gas.
To be fair, it is kind of insane the way with like
handle?
the lock and the whole.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
then
a
it'll,
bizarre
like-
gun.
Yeah, and then it'll all of a sudden turn off, and you're like, "What? What
Yeah.
just happened?"
I am surprised that there aren't more incidents because gasoline is not a very safe substance.
I just think of Zoolander
And
just
people
spraying it
are
everywhere.
stupid. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what
That's
I think
true.
of too. So it makes sense that they have gas attendants, and it wasn't like it was more expensive because you didn't have a choice.
Right.
So
This is a good question. Butts? Question mark.
yes,
Perfect. What's your favorite
you're in.
emoji?
Ooh, I would love to hear this.
Yeah, Jack Ferry. Favorite emoji?
Favorite emoji.
do you want to know my actual favorite emoji,
Yes.
or should we want me to say something interesting?
No,
thumbs
no.
up. That's one I use the most.
I
I know,
use that
boring.
a lot. I use that one a lot. I use the muscle arm too.
Yeah.
Of like, you did it. Woo.
That one's good.
What's yours? Eggplant?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
It's CD.
Yeah,
CD
mine's
emoji.
the CD emoji forever.
Because he's
yeah.
trying to rebrand himself as the CD
Look,
emoji.
wait, this isn't about me. This is the Jack episode.
Right,
Stop.
okay. Sorry.
Stop.
Yeah, I know that's really. I know that's boring. I'm not really an emoji guy.
What's your Grace? What's
Yeah.
an emoji that reminds you of Jack?
Oh,
Because
and
for me, it's always the old TV. The old TV, anything like the gramophone thing. Like
What are you trying to say, bro?
you're just a classic guy. You're
Oh,
a good
okay.
classic guy. Like the martini. I always think of you for that. You know, like the fancy drink.
Yeah. Okay.
If there was a pocket square one, it would definitely be you.
Dude, what if there was a pocket square emoji?
there might
Then
be.
You would copy and paste it, and Siri would read it as the Jack Ferry emoji.
I'm gonna text you right now. An
What is an emoji? I'm looking through my emojis right now.
Okay, everyone's on their
Figure
phone but
out.
me.
I like the champagne popping emoji.
yeah.
That new one's nice. I also like the like tiny Michael Jackson that's just jumping.
The levitating man?
Yeah.
It's so strange.
It's Michael Jackson though, right?
It's called levitating businessman in suit.
that reminds me of Jack. That
It's
one.
amazing. There we go. Yeah. Jack is levitating.
There is
man.
the new one with the there's the smiley face where he's got a green money tongue and
Oh,
two
yeah.
money eyeballs.
That's you?
No, I sent that to Arden, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And she said, "Oh, I just assumed that was the prostitute emoji."
Can I be totally real with you?
I thought
That's
it was-
what I named my Amazon wish list is just that emoji face.
Is that
I swear to you. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like you search that list, that's Mitchell Davis's Amazon wish list.
when you look at my frequently used emojis,
Oh yeah.
all
good
5 racehorse emojis.
That,
Yes.
You're so weird, man.
Yes.
You're so weird. You are a brand of your own.
So bizarre.
Seriously.
I recently started texting a lot of the weightlifter that's got its back to us. And I texted at the memory and she doesn't have the new update. So she's like, what was that?
That is so okay.
Oh, it comes as a question mark.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what that emoji was. I was like, it was a weightlifter. You're really missing out. You got to update that phone.
Update that phone.
Oh, this is an interesting question, and I'm going to add Mitchell to this question. Jack Ferry 99, what was your first impression of Grace and Mitchell?
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't actually remember when we first met.
I remember distinctly.
I remember totally. Yeah.
You were falling out of a taxi.
We
we locked
we met in
eyes.
the green room of My Name Channel Live. And I had seen Daily Grace, and I was like looking forward to meeting you because I thought your videos were funny. And I knew that you were going to be one of the hosts of the live show. And so it was just like one of those getting to know you conversations.
Right.
And the reason why it sticks in my mind, because it was just like, oh, cool. So where are you from? New Jersey. Oh, cool. I'm from New Jersey. Where in New Jersey? South Jersey. Oh, cool. Where in South Jersey? You're like Woodbury Heights. I'm like, what?
Oh, right.
Where did you go to high school?
Gateway Regional.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I went to West Deptford. That's insane.
My parents live there now. Yeah, that's so crazy.
That was the weird thing. So,
yeah, because you never say exactly where you're from in New Jersey because no one ever lives near you. You're just like South Jersey.
no one in South, it's always North Jersey.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one's from South Jersey.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think whenever I meet, 90% of the time, they're from North Jersey. And so that was crazy that, because we'd met in New York, you know, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We never knew each other in New Jersey. But what's funny is people sometimes ask me, like, how did the podcast come together? And the podcast came together
At a bar in New Jersey.
at a bar in New Jersey.
Over the holidays.
Yeah, 'cause-
Yeah, you got drinks with me and my brother Tim. And I was like, I have this like kind of idea that I need to flesh out more about like wanting to do like a podcast. It's also a video kind of thing. And it just doesn't make any sense. And you were like, okay, we'll do it. And I was like, what?
And then we did it.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was one of those moments where you're like, oh, if you work with the right people, they get shit done. Cool.
Yeah, because we were shooting later that month. Like,
Yeah.
we shot in January.
When did you first meet Mitchell? When did you guys first?
I met him on the live show as well. He came in as a guest.
That's right.
Yeah,
And I remember you had a jean jacket that you brought.
Yeah,
so
'cause
you
to
guys
dress
could
like
be-
each other.
You guys could be
Jeansies.
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 Yeah, and I met you because I was like one of the few guests that was like, I want all my footage. And they were like, you just go talk to Jack in the back corner.
Yeah.
And you had like this sliver of an area.
That was my
like,
control room,
Yeah,
yeah.
with like, I remember being like, oh, he's the evil genius behind everything.
He's
Yeah.
the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, and you just like I handed you a flash drive, and without even looking, it was like you stuck it in the wall. It was like Dexter's Laboratory like situation. It was crazy. Like, you pulled a few knobs, and then it was on there.
But when did you guys like first hang out? Like hang out without me?
Ooh,
We started hanging out at the conventions. That's when we kind of
Yeah.
became buddies. And then at some point, it was just like, we need to get Mitchell out in LA.
Oh, yeah.
And then
But we became friends when we traveled the world doing the new form stuff.
it sounds so ridiculous
That
when you
sounds
say
so
that.
romantic. We became friends and we traveled the world.
We did.
We became friends as we traveled the world, though. That was what made it.
Because we didn't really
double.
know each other that well when we first started traveling
Yeah,
together.
at the beginning, it was. I mean, we knew each other, but we didn't
Ooh.
know each other.
I have a question. What's been your best or worst travel experience with each other?
Oh, easy. Okay. Worst travel experience was in London.
Yeah, this dude.
Mitchell had 2 beers and then the next morning decided he was too hungover to get on the plane.
Look, I hadn't had dinner. And I slept for like 2 hours. It was one of those things where
2 beers.
I was just like, I'll still be drunk when I wake up. I was not still drunk when I woke up. I was very sober and very afraid.
You
that
were very hungover.
I was so hungover, I thought I was going to die.
But
So that was definitely the worst.
that's
you know
such
what?
anxiety going
I'd
into
say-
a plane.
I'd say for Jack, though, like learning wise with you was, dude, your taste. I didn't realize your taste was so
Taste as in like taste in food?
taste in food. You were showing me food that I was like, this exists and it's delicious.
Well, my
You're like,
thing.
it's not chicken nuggets?
So I have a friend who used to work. Actually, no, he still works. He works on Anthony Bourdain's show.
Oh, cool.
And when I met Anthony Bourdain one time, he gave me like an autographed copy of his book, and he inscribed it with.
And he ate it.
Yeah, and then he ate it. He inscribed it with "Eat without fear," which I guess is like his tagline or whatever. And then I was like, that's kind of a good motto to go on life with.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we stuck to it that entire
Yeah.
trip.
So when we travel, whenever I travel now, I try to eat food that I wouldn't normally eat.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to experience new things. And so like, yeah, we tried some really wild. So we had like foie gras in London, which you loved.
we had like some great, like we've had bone marrow together.
Yeah, bone marrow.
That'll bond
just
you.
like, but it's just like things that like me as Mitchell Day, I was just like, no,
when in your life-
no, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's
and
a-
there was a lot of times where Jack would have me eat it, and then he would tell me what it is
Afterwards?
because
That's
he was
good.
just like, what do you genuinely think flavor wise?
Yeah.
Here's what you actually ate. That was Kim Kardashian's ass. No, it was just like, it was just crazy things that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I just ate that? I feel horrible.
So many memes, you guys. So many memes. Well, we've come to the end of our episode. I think we've learned a lot about director-producer Jack Ferry.
I hope so.
And Jack, you get the gift that every guest gets on Not Too Deep.
Sweet.
And you've had time to think about this.
I gotta say, it's changed throughout the months and years we've been doing this.
You get to tweet out anything you'd like.
but I know exactly what I'm gonna write.
I was like,
I want to get my phone ready so I can favorite it like instantly.
that's a sign of a true producer. That's what Jack does.
Don't just favorite it.
Retweet it too. I got it. I got you. I know what's up.
Like, subscribe, retweet. And while Jack writes out his tweet, I'll tell you a little bit about the challenge that we are doing over on the YouTube channel with Jack. It's called the Challenge. We will be going through some of the best and worst challenges that we have done over the years on Not Too Deep. And we're going to have to race each other to see who can remember, is it who did that challenge or the name of the challenge?
I think we're going to do the name of the challenge, and then we have to guess who the guest was.
Or who won the challenge.
Is that what we're doing?
So
it'd have to be the guest.
To be
It'd have to be
determined.
the guest because the winners of these games, are they winners? Who
I think
are the
we're,
winners?
No one wins.
we're doing bonus. If
You'll
we can
find
get-
out if you go over to
We'll
the
figure
YouTube
it out.
channel.
Well, by then, we'll have figured out what the game is.
Yeah, youtube.com/It's Grace. Go check it out. The Challenge with director-producer Jack Ferry at JackFerry99 on Twitter. Do you do any other social media?
Did we break down the 9-9? What's the 9-9 about?
Yeah, let's
Okay,
see.
so that started because I wasn't on Twitter. I was doing a show.
Are you doing Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
yeah,
you wanted
like,
to remember it forever?
No, I created a show called $99 Music Videos.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I did one of those.
I know.
I did Barbie Eat a Sandwich.
I know, with Daisy.
Care Bears on Fire.
Yes, Care Bears on Fire.
Those are all real things.
Yes. So that was a show I created for Next New Networks. The idea of it was just what happens if you take a band and a filmmaker, you give them $99 in a day to go make a music video.
Sounds fun to me.
Yeah. And I wasn't on Twitter at the time. And so they're like, you have to get a Twitter account. At Jack Ferry was taken. And I have a funny story about that, actually. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll do at Jack Ferry 99 for $99 music videos. You know, little did I know it was going to follow me for the rest of my
For the
life.
rest of your life.
Yeah. But there is the guy who is at Jack Ferry who I want that handle so bad.
If you're listening at Jack Ferry,
We're going to beat your ass.
we need it. We're going to tweet at you. Oh
here's
no,
the
people
thing.
don't actually tweet.
So
Yeah,
I got invited to a film festival for one of my, this is many years ago. And it turns out one of the organizers of the film festival, his name is Jack Ferry. And that is, and
That's the guy?
That's the guy.
That owns the Twitter handle?
Yeah. And what's even weirder is he has the exact same birthday as me.
Ew, whoa,
Yeah. It's
ew.
super weird.
Ew.
That got creepy. It gets even weirder. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
so weird,
That's
man.
a series of weird coincidences.
Yeah.
And so,
And he doesn't tweet ever, and he won't give me the handle, and I'm so
What?
annoyed.
Wow.
I mean, Jack Ferry, why out there, not the one sitting next to
I know.
me.
Let go.
Like you, I mean, what if you had to handle Jack Ferry 99? It suits you.
Yeah, let's switch
Yeah.
it up. You can be 99.
Yeah.
We got number 1 right here.
Yeah. How's that tweet going?
It's going great.
Okay, after the tweet happens, we'll give you guys a heads up because things are going to change a little bit in the new year, not drastically or dramatically. We just have some great
What?
ideas to get more
What?
efficient.
Wait, what?
Getting rid of some dead weight.
What?
Yeah, just kind of like
But-
sending the sheep out to the
But
pasture.
this is the internet. You can't change things ever.
You know,
What?
flipping some burgers.
No, I'm really excited.
Did you
Not
tweet?
yet. I'm still
Seriously, Jack, come on. Tweet it already.
Jack, you have been on the other side of this.
I know.
You should have had this written like months ago.
No,
I'm sure it's changed, or it
it's
has
definitely changed
gone
because
through-
originally it was going to be the what was it going to write around the 100th person who retweets this, I will DM you nude pics.
Oh my god! Oh my!
That's what I was.
That would have been one of those that I'd have a moment of like, do I Tara read this tweet right now?
Yeah, but since then it's changed. Now
That, Mitchell loves it. Mitchell, you are never getting the opportunity to tweet ever.
I'm just imagining the person who's like waiting for 100.
But that's like, I
He's
know.
like, it's like stays at 99 for an hour and a half, and
It's
then
like-
it just bursts.
I know. It's like when people call into the radio station to be like the fifth caller and they just sit by waiting for the one like boing noise to
Yeah,
happen to
ex-
tell them to
They
call.
have like 9 cell phones. They're all their friends' phones are around them. They're like, call.
Did you tweet it?
almost.
Oh
Here
my
it
god.
comes.
Okay. Were you just doing some spell checking?
Yep, that's exactly right.
He's just Jack checking his tweet.
He's Jack checking his own tweet.
Oh man.
This is now knowing that was your first idea for a tweet. I'm very scared.
Yeah, there's so many things I could do here, but I'm just going to be silly.
Okay.
But also, who knows? Maybe this will happen.
Nude pics for everyone.
Maybe this will happen, and then if it does, great. I'm
What?
just thinking like you're an influential person.
Oh my God. What?
This
Will
is
you please just send this tweet?
I'm like nervous. I'm looking at my Twitter
I know.
timeline waiting for it to
I'm
go
going to
through.
break my thumb if I keep refreshing.
Has it gone through?
He's making it.
And here we go. Tweeted.
You tweeted it?
There you go.
Okay. What does it say? Oh, Jesus. Internet, how can we get Jack Ferry 99 a date with Rachel McAdams? Let's make it happen. Oh, man. I bet that other Jack Ferry is really wishing he had this 99 handle right now. Oh, good. Mitchell Davis retweeted my
I
tweet.
should have guessed that.
God.
Right?
Yes.
So that's an ongoing thing for me because I have a huge crush on Rachel McAdams.
Does she have a Twitter?
No. That's frustrating. I know.
So we got to
Really?
get her on social media.
First, we got to get her on Twitter, but first, we got to get her into a date with me.
There we go. Okay, internet, you have marching orders.
Let's
Good luck.
do it. Let's do it.
Start a Kickstarter.
Do you have a list? Do you have like a celebrity list?
Like my.
Your five. You get a free pass.
I don't even know.
celebrity.
I don't know because I feel like a lot of celebrities could go either way, personality-wise, in real life.
Yeah.
Just on like a looks level, like
Jack did this to me like 2 days ago, by the way, and
Yeah.
it threw me off so hard.
to think about
Yeah,
it.
because you're just like, well, wait, just wait, give me a minute.
Adam Brody, I had like a huge
Okay,
crush on
sure.
from the OC.
Wow, Diane just
And-
patted her heart as hard as she could.
Yeah. Diane her pants just melted off of her. I saw Adam Brody on MTV's Undressed first before the OC. I was just talking about this with someone that he was the first person I actually used the internet to try and figure out who he was.
You
It was
creep. You creep.
I know. What a crazy concept. I remember seeing him on Undressed and they rotate that cast so much that I went online to try and search his name as an actor because I could never see it in the end credits fast enough. And I just thought he was so attractive. And then like years later, he was on the OC and I was like, that's the guy. That's the guy from Undressed that I could
Guy
never
I've been in love with
find.
this whole time.
Yeah, so maybe him, but who knows? Maybe he's a huge dick in real life. Maybe he's a huge dick, not has a huge dick.
So that would be the only person on your list.
I'd have to really think about it. For years, I've joked that Sting would be,
Yeah, tantric. Sure,
and
that'd be a great
And I found
couple
out,
of nights.
I know, but I found
I'm
out.
so tired, Sting. Please, my legs are asleep.
I found out over the weekend that he's also a double Libra.
What?
Yeah. So I don't know that. I don't think we'd be a match. I think it'd be like too much Libra going on.
Too balanced.
Yeah. Too much
Need
balance
someone
happening.
with a little more fire.
I need fire. I need that fire.
because you bounce away from
Mitchell, who was yours?
I don't remember.
You said Scarlett Johansson.
I did say oh yeah, that's like my go-to.
But that's so obvious.
Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
is my go-to.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
She's the best.
Okay. Well,
I
speaking
also really like that girl from Game of Thrones, Emilia Clarke. Is that her
Dormer?
name?
Is she the one who's always naked with all the dragons?
Yeah.
Me too.
She's-
Khaleesi.
Yeah, the Khaleesi.
All
I
right.
don't even watch the show, and I know who you're talking about, and I'm
Okay.
Hey.
You don't watch Game of Thrones?
It's on my list.
All right,
Hey
let's
guys,
take this
hey,
offline.
if you get your own podcast, okay? This has been really fun.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
And the fun continues over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/itsgrace. The challenge with Jack Ferry and referee Mitchell Davis. His favorite job is referee and judge Mitchell Davis.
Yes. do you want to talk about the
yes.
changes that are
Yeah, I
coming
was
up?
gonna say we do the changes. Talk
the
about
changes. Well,
Changes. Sorry.
we don't have the rights.
We know
for
the rest of that song.
Okay.
Otherwise, I was going to chime in.
You're right. Happy birthday to you.
There's a hashtag starting. Get Jack a date. It's out there.
This is the worst.
Sweet.
So the changes.
What I was going to do was like, what would our ship name be? And I'd be like, Jekyll McFadden. That seems weird.
Yeah, I like the McFerry because it sounds like a McDonald's.
Yeah.
It sounds like
item.
something I would
Ferry.
order and
Yeah.
feel guilty about like an hour later. What'd you have? I had 3 McFerries.
Oh God, that's a lot of milk.
There was so much Oreo in it. It was gross.
Changes. So what's going to happen is nothing too different.
We're still doing the podcast.
Still doing the podcast. That's going to happen.
We're just going to cool it on the challenges portion of it.
We're going to create parts of the actual audio podcast itself that get used as the video portion.
Well, here's the thing. People have been
Tell us the thing.
People have been clamoring for a full video version of the podcast.
Yeah.
Some people just want to watch the people talking. So you
Right.
know what? We're going to give that to you guys.
Yeah.
We are going to start releasing the entire podcast
Yes.
as a video. So if you want to consume it that way, you can.
Yep. There'll be a whole schedule announced in the beginning of the year of when those will get uploaded to my
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
That-
And then we're not going to do so many challenges. We're going to do more smaller games with people during the actual podcast itself
Yep.
that you'll see kind of as a teaser before the full podcast comes out. But the takeaway is the podcast is still happening and it's going to be better and dumber than ever.
Yeah, and you'll be able to, if you really want to watch the whole thing, you'll be able to watch the whole thing. But if you also just want to keep consuming it the way you've been on iTunes and SoundCloud or
It's there
whatever,
too.
it will also be there. So don't worry. It's
We
gonna be
got you
great.
covered.
No sweat.
No sweat, just lots of sweating.
Not to be that guy, but I didn't hear. I mean, we were discussing the Mitchell's Corner. You didn't bring that up.
well, because the discussion hasn't come to a close.
Okay, I mean, as long as
This
it's
is
still
awkward.
open. That's
There might be a more permanent role for Mitchell here in the podcast, but that is, we have to put it to a vote, and there's a lot of people voting, so it's going to take a long time.
nobody's raising their hands.
So get excited about that, and thank you guys for listening all year long. Let us know some of your most favorite episodes.